Hi there, I'm Dr. J, and welcome to my YouTube channel where I talk about all things in between being and becoming a pharmacist. How you doing? You alright? Welcome to Success Sundays, and if you do not know, I am a Naplex Success Coach, and I help pharmacists shift their mindset, strategize their plan, and study effectively for the Naplex exam. And as a Naplex Success Coach, I am too excited to introduce you to a key study strategy that often goes unappreciated, which is rereading. As I stated before in my last couple of videos, we are doing a series called Naplex Study. We're not doing a series. We are in a series. We're doing Naplex Study Skills Toolkit, and over the next couple of weeks, we'll be going over different study strategies and techniques that you can use to better prepare you for the Naplex exam. And today we're talking about rereading. And in essence, rereading involves exactly what it sounds like. Exactly what it sounds like. You read a text and then you read it again. While seemingly straightforward, the effectiveness of this strategy is truly how to optimize it. I'll say, how do you truly optimize your success in preparing for the Naplex exam? Now, one thing is there is a bit of controversy with rereading. Does it work, and if so, why? There has been evidence that suggests that while rereading, it has many benefits. One particular thing is it's really big on active recall when you have fill in the blank style type of exams, which Naplex not necessarily like that. So that's one of the key things about when it comes to rereading. But one of the key things of also the most benefits of rereading seems to stem from the second time you're reading, which it helps with the additional repetition. And other thing too, I would say one of the key pitfalls associated with rereading is that it's the fluency of illusion that it creates. As you reread the material, you become familiar with the information, leading to a false sense of mastery. And however, when you're tested on there, when you really truly test on your understanding and you're asked to recall the information, you often struggle to it because it truly demonstrates whether you have true comprehension of the material or not. So that's one of the key things about it. Really one of the big downfalls of it is that you become too familiar with the information, and you feel you have a true false sense of mastery. That's why it's so important, as I stated before, when it comes to these study techniques and strategies we'll be going over in the next couple of weeks. It's best when you combine it, because rereading is very effective, but it's more so enhanced. Its effectiveness is enhanced when it's combined with other active learning strategies, aka when we're highlighting and then we reread our notes, or when we're doing self-examination, when we're reading our notes but we're explaining the information to ourselves, or we do the thing called retrieval practice, which we will talk about in another strategy. Because retrieval practice involves forcing yourself to recall previously learned information, which is a far more effective method for long-term retention than passive reading. But we're going to get into that, okay? But for today, whenever you watch this tonight, in this video purposes, we're going to be talking about rereading, okay? So, consider, for instance, rereading. Consider the analogy of when you're watching somebody demonstrate a skill, like when you're on an airplane and they are demonstrating how to put on a life vest and how to save yourself, right? The thing about it is, it's easy to watch someone as they're doing it, but it's not the same as practicing as yourself. And that's truly similar to what rereading is. Rereading information does not adequately prepare you to recall it when faced on a test or in a real world scenario. The thing is, it helps you to engage in the retrieval practice of it by testing yourself and identifying areas for further study. It allows you to see where some things are working, allows you to see yields your superior results of what you can do. So that's one of the key things that rereading does. And to solidify on these concepts, you have to solidify on these complex concepts, identify key information, and reinforce your critical knowledge areas for the Naplex exam. Now, one thing that rereading does, it helps with repetition strategy. By daily reviewing your sessions, studying daily, this is something that I always tell my clients, to make sure that you have at least 40 minutes to 1 hour every single day. Just spend reviewing your notes, review sessions that just truly revisit previous cover material. That helps with the repetition stats, and that's where rereading comes into play. Rereading also kind of comes to play when you're actually creating flashcards, because you've read the information, but you have to reread it to actually write your flashcards. And also too, when you're even practicing, because when you're practicing, you're rereading something, you're quizzing yourself. So with those brands and generics, those key concepts you're trying to remember, those equations, that is a form of rereading in a sense. And also too, it's a help with the repetition strategy too. When you're rereading, you use the teach back method, which you teach the material. You can teach the material to yourself, or explain it, or just picture, like especially you are a kinesthetic learner, and this can help you. You're acting as if you're either, like, you can act as if you're teaching to someone, or you have a study group and you can teach material to someone as well. Make sure you explain it. So this helps with the repetition, and it comes to rereading, like, it helps with that. And that's one of the key things for rereading, is it helps with the repetition strategy. Another thing that rereading does too is it again helps you to identify key information, as we talked about before, that highlighting, underlining. Like, before you dive into materials, you're identifying those specific informations to highlight and underline. You're including those key terms, those equations, those important concepts, and you're using that color coding system where you're denoting a specific color to a piece of information or organization for quick identification of it all. And that helps with rereading, because when you're reading your notes, you have that visual cue to say, hey, I want to make sure this is important. I need to know this. I need to know that. So that's definitely one of the things you definitely want to look into. Hone in on. And the third thing that rereading does is it truly is the reinforcement of critical knowledge areas. Those regular reviews help you to reinforce your learning, to ensure that you retain the information. That active recall, when you test yourself on previous learned materials without looking at your notes or your textbook, that repeat until mastery, that is rereading. When you use the concept maps and you create those to visually organize relationships between your key concepts and your reinforcing understanding. Now, if you already downloaded Toolkit, I also included, I have already talked about concept mapping before in the Soar Success series, Soar in 2024 series, but I'm going to link that video below. And even if you are downloading Toolkit, you will see that there's an active concept map, and that is an actual concept map from the Soar workbook itself. Just FYI, that I've already included into you, because these type of things are going to help you to reinforce your active learning. So one of the key things that rereading does is it helps with that repetition strategy. It helps you identify those key information, important facts, and it also helps you to reinforce the critical knowledge areas as well. By truly actively involving yourself in the learning process, you're not only enhancing your understanding, but also improving your long-term retention of the materials. Because the Naplex, yes, it's a test. It's not like it's a test of all the things you learned over the past 3 or 4 years, but it's also the material that you will learn, you need to know as a pharmacist for the rest of your career. Not just, oh, I passed the test and I'm like you got an A. No, it's for lifelong learning that you need. So yeah, rereading is truly has its own place in our Naplex Study Skills Toolkit. But it's definitely one of those things that you have to recognize its limitations. It's more of a supplement with more effective strategies, like retrieval practice, like highlighting, underlining, not necessarily by itself. By truly embracing these active learning techniques and actively engaging in the material, you will become better equipped to succeed on a Naplex exam and well beyond. But remember, as always, involvement breeds learning. So you have to dive into your studies with purpose and intentionality, and watch your understanding. Watch how your understanding soar, and you improve, and you maximize your chance of passing Naplex. I do thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment, subscribe if you like. If you're enjoying this series, please comment below. We like to know. And then too, let us know, like, so far, like, as we go into more techniques, let us know which one is your favorite. Like, literally comment, this is my favorite technique thus far. We like to know so we can give you more tips and things of this nature. Just love how you like the series. Again, thank you for watching this video. Until next time, remember that pharmacists own limit if you are. Now go be great, and talk to you guys later.